Beta Beast.
Don't you dare touch me! Stand back!
It is impossible to talk about horror in the home without mentioning the teaser for Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro's cancelled Silent Hill reboot, PT, aka Satan's very own video game. I mean, Christ, it's absolutely fucking horrible, isn't it? And aside from the terrifying ghost and that creepy sink fetus, one of the main things that makes PT so bloody scary is the fact that it takes place in somewhere that seems so normal. That first turn in the corridor, that misty window that you have to walk past, that locked door that is suddenly ajar. It's a setup so familiar to anyone who has ever had the fear when walking around a family home after watching a horror movie, or a particularly heavy episode of Crime Watch. Radio news reports and newspaper clippings talk of a family murdered in their home, while the imagery, whilst familiar, twists into something that really puts you on edge. It seamlessly ties all of your irrational fears of the everyday with surrealist horror and actual fucking ghosts, to ensure that the atmosphere sucks you in, regardless of how much of a hardened horror buff you claim to be, and shits you up repeatedly during its relatively short playtime. Just when you think you're comfortable, it mixes things up, with another layer of the intense narrative being revealed, or a wild shift into the unknown. And sometimes, it just jump scares you. The absolute bastards behind this project were even planning on getting Japanese horror manga artist Junji Ito in to design some aspects of the game, which means I can only assume that Konami were actually doing everyone a favour when they cancelled this project, preventing this evil from getting out into the world and saving you a fortune in underpants. A second trailer was released at Tokyo Game Show 2014 that hinted at Ito's horrific creations, but also at a school setting that was a bit more traditional Silent Hill, but after that everything went, well, silent, until news that this project was canned appeared in the wake of the Kojima-Konami fallout. Due to various legal wranglings surrounding Kojima's exit from Konami, PT has been pulled from the PlayStation Store, meaning that it is no longer available to download. It's gone, presumably forever. Even this footage I have had to lift from other people's videos of the thing, and over time it is likely that PT will become the stuff of urban legend. Like the video nasties that circulated my school, spoken of in hushed tones. The story of this mysterious demo that terrified everyone who played it, and then disappeared. Gone Home isn't a horror game. You know this going in, and it isn't advertised as a horror game because it genuinely isn't one, but there is something unsettling about the idea of finding yourself unexpectedly alone in the family home after some time spent away. A place that most know as a safe space, suddenly abandoned. A place that, although familiar, has changed since you were last there. You don't feel quite like a stranger, but you no longer know its ins and outs and what lies behind every door. By using a couple of nods and winks to common horror movie tropes, Gone Home puts you, yes you, sat in your pants in front of your monitor, in the shoes of the protagonist. Again, Gone Home isn't a horror game, but it doesn't half make you explore that house with a little bit of caution, like you would if you came home to your family house and found it empty. God, these video games are clever, aren't they? As you piece together exactly what happened, it deliberately keeps a few key details from you until the final reveal in the attic. What is in the attic? What could be waiting for you up there? You take your tentative steps up the staircase. It's not a horror game. Remember, you step inside, nothing immediately standing out as strange or terrifying, but there's a corner, and it's not a horror game. But what could be around that corner? The music swells. Walk around the corner.
Thought you'd just slip out before dinner was done? I'm on to you! Oh! God damn! How am I gonna replace this? Get out of there! You're wasting your time!
Oh, this game. Well, Anatomy. There's nothing like a bullshit jump scare in Anatomy. Instead, it relies on pure atmosphere to get under your skin and leave you regretting ever giving it a go based on some idiot's YouTube recommendation. You walk around a darkened house, finding cassette tapes that speak of the house as a living organism, with the different rooms representing different organs in the body. It's a creepy enough idea as it is, and this is all before the game actually starts fucking with you.
In the psychology of the modern civilized human being, it is difficult to overstate the significance of the house.
The VHS aesthetic isn't just a simple visual effect, it's actually tied into the game's structure. At key moments, Anatomy will just quit to desktop, and starting the game up again, well, it's sort of the same, only something isn't quite right. Much like a real VHS tape, you can never delete what came before, only record on top of it, and over time, it becomes more and more corrupt.
In the psychology of the modern civilized human being, it is difficult to overstate the significance of the house. Since as early as the Neolithic era, humankind has defined the era of the dead. But of all the structures that mankind has invented for itself, there is little doubt that the house is that which it relies upon most completely for its continued survival.
And this constant dropping to desktop, requiring you to start it up again to continue the story, and the way that Anatomy uses glitches and bugs to keep you second guessing whether they're on purpose or not, well, it draws you into the experience and genuinely has you thinking, are these tapes talking to me? The tapes begin to distort, requiring you to listen really carefully to pick up what's being said, if you even want to hear it, before setting off into the house to find the next one. How many games can say that they genuinely had you terrified of walking into a living room? Anatomy takes the idea of home being a safe place and the concept of the home invasion horror movie and corrupts them entirely into a truly unique horror tale. It twists the tired, the phone call was coming from inside the house horror movie cliche and makes you scared of simply being in the house to begin with. It's an absolute day ruiner of a video game, and I'm quite upset I had to play it again for this video.